Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome to an even more optimistic episode 12 of my PES 2013 career as Jeffries United. Um, Despite the fact that I tried to reboot this series, let's say, in the last episode, but I tried to be more optimistic and more, positive in general about the team, we drew 0-0. So, it's time to up the ante a little bit. Keeping with a very similar lineup. Obviously, players do get dropped now because they're not performing properly. My assistant takes care of all that, so I'm quite happy for him to do that. Because I might not necessarily see that a player is underperforming, but the game will see it, and the game will adjust the team accordingly. So that's a good positive thing. So, just go wait for this load screen. Well, you know what I mean, like the intro to the match. Talk briefly. Best two players of the season so far for me are not the two who you think I'm going to say, because I bet you probably think I'm going to say Bobo and Delamond, but I am not, because everyone expects them to say how good they are. My two players of the season so far, I'm a huge fan of Drusen up top. I've said about him before how good I think he is. And my other player of the season so far is Albtig, which, you might be thinking, what? But when we do attack down the right hand side, he seems to be the pinnacle of it. He's had to play with a variety of midfielders ahead of him. You've got Rawlings, you've got Wilkinson, you've got Stiller, and yet he seems to handle himself quite nicely. He's managed to force Orsakowski out of the team for the last few weeks. He's played against the likes of Manchester United, and actually both of the goals that we conceded against Man United came down our left hand side and not our right hand side. So he must have been doing his job right there as well. And as I said before, Drusen for me is an obvious choice because he hasn't scored that many goals, but he's really tried hard to score. And he's only young, so as the season goes on, he will score goals. He's been in my starting lineup for pretty much all matches. He's kept the likes of Beckhold and Wemit and Thornton out of the team. So yeah, he must be there for a reason. And even when Bobo moves up front, it's either because Drusen's tired and has been subbed off, or he actually moves up front alongside Drusen. So even Bobo doesn't seem to come ahead of him in the striking order, which is, that's promising in some respects. So yeah, those are my two players so far that I consider to be standout players. Obviously, there's more of the season to go. There's a lot more of the season to go. So there's a chance for me to change my mind about those two. But for now, they're my two standout players. So yeah, we join the action here coming up to the 20th minute. Desperately looking for a win now. We've been drawing matches. We lost a match. So yeah, the ball comes over to Drusen. Good effort there. He was offside, but again, he made a decent run. Just a fraction too early. He was about a toenail over the line. But again, good volley. Good save from the keeper though. So okay, the ball wasn't going to go in. But yeah, it's still promising that you have a player who's willing to make that attacking movement. Well played there from Delamont. Twice he got played in dangerous area and he managed to keep the ball and shift it on to someone else who was in a good position. Drusen there with a good little knockdown. Delamont just not quite quick enough to get on the end of it. My defence, it's been very interchangeable. We've got Summers playing there. We've got Wilkinson. We've got Newhigh. We've got my number 6, whose name escapes me, but he is out there at the moment. That was a poor challenge from Summers, though. You expect better from a player who's in the team. Appears to be in the first team quite a lot. That's why he's number 5. Yeah, again, the season go on, he'll get better. They'll all get better as the season goes on. I don't plan on making that many signings, even if I do win the league, because I'm fairly confident this team are good enough to stay in the top division if they were to get promoted there. So, yeah, we just got to see how they get on for the rest of the season, I suppose. That was a good ball from Drusen, and that was a good effort from Bobo. The ball comes out to Drusen again, and to Delamond, and back to Delamond, and it turns into a huge melee, which somehow gets cleared. That all started from that really good ball from Drusen. Bobo did exceptionally well to get across his man and get the volley in, and unfortunately it just didn't quite fall into the right area. There's Delamond again, though, and at last, a goal. He absolutely slammed that into the back of the net, and as you can see, he's more than happy to celebrate that goal. Fantastic finish. We get to see a really good replay of this, I believe, if I remember rightly. Really good angle of this shot. Really good determined run there from Wilkinson. Good 1-2 with Bobo. He did get dispossessed, but that fell very nicely for Delamond. Good determined run there from P. Wilkinson. And yeah, it is this angle, which, okay, I admit I control myself, but you know, good camera work here. Great strike. Swerves around the keeper, outside of the right foot. Just all power in that. He got his head over the ball. Really good finish, and that's a huge uplifting moment for the team. Getting this close to half time as well. If you go into the half time break 1-0 up, you know, even if you score 10 minutes before half time, it's still a big boost for you, and it's deflating for the other team because they have to come out in the second half knowing they're 1-0 down. Good defending there from Altig, once again proving why he's one of my standout players so far. Delamond on the ball there, picks out Bobo. Drewson's made a good run again. Bobo choosing not to play him in though, goes for the goal himself. And another good save from the keeper there. It's moments like this now where you see how good these two are attacking wise. The fact they do sometimes just get their head down and keep running themselves, jinxing in and out, making good movements, and then getting a good shot away at the end. Where's this dropping to Wilkinson? He's on the ball there. Again, he's just a bit of a heavy touch there, trying to get his way through on goal again. But that's half time, and we're 1-0 up at half time, which is really good. Really pleased with that. So yeah, can't complain. 6 shots, 5 on target. That is fantastic. Okay, we've had 2 fouls, one of which was an offside. 62% possession, 82% pass accuracy, which, okay, there's 87%, but that is again a massive improvement because it's normally borderline 70s when I play in coach mode. I don't think I'm playing in coach mode on this game. If I am, then I'm surprised that we've had that many shots and that many on target. Although, having a look at that, I'm pretty sure that is me who's playing at this point. So yeah, good start to the match. Great goal just before half time. We're fully in charge of this game so far. Hopefully we're not going to have a slip up like we did in the first game of the season and end up finishing 1-1. We're looking to push on, get more goals, finish strongly, and win this game. Take the 3 points, because that's exactly what we need right now, is a win. So very early on in the game, we're keeping them pegged back in their half. Bobo makes a good block there. Delamond comes up and clears up the excess. See Bobo there getting his head down, running with the ball. Stiller with a good ball there. Bobo tries to dink it across to Drewson and ends up winning a corner. This must be coach mode, actually, looking at this. Because normally, you know, the camera would be behind him as he's taking that corner. But interesting corner choice, trying to hit it to Stiller, who I guess got his head wrong. Forcing a throw in there, which Bobo will take. To McGregor, who again, chances have been limited. Grantham seems to be the first choice left back at the moment. Yeah, here's Bobo on the ball, trying to drive into the box and get a shot away himself, I guess. I imagine there'll be a bit of competition between him and Delamond as to who scores the most. There's O'Brien obviously making a save for the cameras because I don't think he needed to dive onto the ball in the way he did there, but he chose to anyway, so credit to him, I suppose. At least he didn't screw it up when it goes into the back of his own neck, so that would have been a bit embarrassing. Bobo's done well to win the ball there. Fantastic crossfield ball to my main man, Altig. And you see here, he's starting to drive down this right hand side. He's not afraid to turn and get the ball through in little gaps, and he tries the audacious pass there for Drewson. He probably could have kept it a bit simpler, but again, credit to him for having the ability to spot that run, because that was a good run from Drewson, and he very nearly picked him out. That, however, is not a good ball towards Drewson. That was never going to be one, so I think that was Wilkinson who hit that pass. A bit poor from him. I think that's just a sign of laziness. We'll probably see him get subbed off soon. Here, good save from O'Brien. Bit poor defending to let him get through there. Nearly brought him down and gave away a free kick or a penalty, which, again, not very good. Now Bobo on the counter-attack. Plays it into Delamond. Bobo making some good movement there. Delamond trying to get around his man and does. Pulls the ball back. I think Delamond could have actually gone for a shot there, but he tried to pull it back to either Bobo or Drewson. So I suppose he's trying to keep the team ethic going. So credit to him for that. So yeah, you know, we're still on the front foot. 82nd minute, still attacking, still 1-0 up. Still there dealing with that ball well. Plays it up to Wilkinson, I think that was, who lost possession again. I think he's getting a bit tired. We'll probably see him get subbed off in a minute. That was another foul from Bobo, who is starting to get a little bit careless in the tackling department at the moment. Completely fanned his opponent there. Very bad challenge. There you go. Beckhold coming on for Stiller. Maybe we don't see another substitution for us there, which is a bit disappointing. Again, though, a dangerous free kick in a dangerous area. We saw Bobo commit a foul there before and it ended up in a goal. This time, not quite. Very close though. That is inches wide of the post. So Bobo probably breathing a sigh of relief there. Especially this close to the end of the game as well. The last thing you want is to concede a last minute equaliser, because that is very, very demoralising. But we got Wilkinson here driving the team forward. Another ball over the top. Probably going to have to try and find a way to stop that from happening, actually, because Drewson, he's not going to win them all. But that doesn't matter now, because we have won a game. We have won 1-0. We have finally got 3 points on the board again. As you can tell, I'm thrilled. We didn't get any extra shots on target, or shots in general in that second half, so a little bit disappointed about that. Pass accuracy has dropped significantly to 72%, but we kept the majority of possession, so can't complain at that. Keeper only had to make one save because they only had one shot on target, which we saw in that second half. Bit of a heart-in-mouth moment, but O'Brien dealt with it very well. He seems to be becoming more and more a strong goalkeeper, let's say, as the season goes on. But as I said, I've got 3 good goalkeepers. All 3 of them are challenging for a first-team place, so I suppose that's a good thing, interchanging goalkeepers. You might say it's a bit of a risk, but if you've got 3 good goalkeepers, I don't see why you can't play all 3 of them. Otherwise, you've just got 2 good goalkeepers who spend their whole time on the bench or in the reserves, which is a bit unfair on them. We are rising up the table again. I think we are 8th, it said there. So, you know, we're not top at the moment. We are, I imagine, a fair distance behind, but we are going in the right direction now. And that makes me a lot more optimistic for the next match, and the match after that, and the match after that. So, hopefully we can pick up on this result and move on to the next match and win that game, and then move on to the next match and win that game as well. And that will be 9 points in 3 matches, which is the exact kind of lift we need after the appalling run of matches we had before, where we lost 2-1, we drew 0-0, we lost 2-0 to Man United, and we drew 0-0 again. Especially after the last game, where I said about renewed optimism, and then we just drew 0-0 again. That's a mistake on my part, actually, for trying to be optimistic over a 0-0 draw, but poor performance from the team in that match. So to come back and win 1-0, okay, it's only 1-0, but as I've said before, Chelsea used to win the league on 1-0 wins, so I don't see why Jeffries United can't do that. So yeah, we'll start wrapping this up now, guys. Good performance, moving on, next match we'll win again. So until next time, guys, I will see you soon.